Hi everyone, my name is Kaylee. If you're new to the channel, I'm a Twitch streamer, partner Twitch streamer on Twitch, obviously, and I play a variety of content. This is going to be a video review for Martha is Dead. I'll be going over some of the things that I really like and don't like, and if I recommend the game or not to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! So this playthrough took me about, I think, 7 to 8 hours to complete, mainly because I was streaming the game at the same time, so my playthroughs are normally longer than the average playthrough. Right off the bat, you start playing as Julia, and she's taking photography pictures of the lake in the morning. Julia and Martha are identical twin sisters. Julia found her sister in the lake, and the parents came running down to the lake and found Julia and Martha. The parents assumed that Julia had died and Martha was still alive. Martha was deaf. So after Martha's death, they believed that Martha was alive, but Julia was dead. Julia had gone in too deep with this and she couldn't back out of it, so she had to act like she was deaf. So essentially, she stole her sister's identity. So the story for this game is extremely unique and very original and something that I have never experienced before. I was a little confused at the start as to what had happened after her sister had died, but that was primarily my fault because I was streaming at the same time. So I found this really cool that you can interact with a lot of different objects, because I'm always one to click on every single object to see if there's something that I can do with it or if the player will talk about it and initiate dialogue. There's also quite a few of objects in the beginning of the game that you don't realize the significance until you finish the game, and upon playing it again, you realize why Julia had said some things about an object that she grabbed in the beginning of the game after you play through it again. One thing that I noticed while playing the game was that there wasn't any FOV option capability. Everything felt really close to your face, including the lighter being close to your face. Later on, you can ride a bike and the handlebars just feel like it's in your face, and I really didn't like that they didn't have an FOV option, but it didn't really stop me from enjoying the game. It was just something I wish that they had added in. They also had a head bobbing option that you can turn off and turn on, and I found that I really liked it turned off because it just helped the experience more. It was way more enjoyable with it off. Martha's Dead does delve into incredibly dark topics, ranging from miscarriages to dismemberment, animal cruelty, self-harm. It goes into a lot of dark topics that most games do not go into. It's not for the faint of heart. If you cannot handle something like this, then by all means, do not play this game. But if you can handle that, I highly recommend this game. It was such a great story, and I personally love games that aren't scared to dive into those topics compared to other games that normally try to avoid those topics. There's a lot of different collectibles that you can collect in the game, ranging from different filters for your camera, different lenses, and there was a lot of different riddles you can figure out through taking pictures with your camera. There's just overall a lot of different things you can collect and find as an optional thing that of course you didn't have to. It wasn't part of the main story. It was just something to do to collect more lore and learn more about the game. One thing I have to mention is the game is incredibly beautiful. They did a wonderful job with the graphics and having all this little fine extra details to every single item that they added that you can pick up and observe and look at. So you get introduced to a camera at some point in the game, and you can use cameras to take pictures of things that will cause story progression throughout the game. If you don't take the picture, you won't get any story progression because they're required to progress throughout the story. You can take random pictures of different things and not just story items. But you'll see that sometimes when you're moving the camera kind of stutters a bit when you move it slightly. This kind of got annoying throughout the whole playthrough, but it wasn't too terrible. They have different exposure, there's aperture, there's focus options. There was a lot of different things that they added. There's different filters that you can use later on in the game as you collect. I found the map for the game to be decently sized for a game like this. I didn't think it was too big nor too small, but there was a lot of different things to discover in every crevice of the map. So one thing that also made this game very unique was that they added a dark room into this game to develop photos that Julia had taken throughout the game. You had to develop each photo if it was required for story. You did not have to develop the ones that were optional that you took yourself. This whole process was extremely cool. I thought it was something never seen before. But honestly, after developing the first 15 pictures, it kind of got annoying. They added the ability to skip the animations of the process of developing the pictures, which was really nice that I thought they added. There's a lot of different filters, like I mentioned before, for the camera that you can take pictures with. They have an infrared filter, they have a blue filter, they have macro lenses, and I felt like it actually made me want to take pictures just because I could. Another thing I really liked that they added into this game was they added tarot cards into the game that you can use and look at every single day in game days. And the lore with the tarot cards was very interesting. You got to use them every day. You chose 3 different cards every day and you would read your divination. There is also an achievement for doing this every single day that you're able to. A lot of people were wondering if this game was scary. I saw a lot of comments in Steam discussions asking if the game was scary. I would say that this game is not scary at all. I feel like it wasn't worthy of being tagged with the horror tag on Steam. There was a few moments, like I said earlier, the game has a lot of gore and it's kind of gruesome at some parts that might make you feel nauseous. It was more of a psychological, the atmosphere and the creepiness of the atmosphere kind of messes with you. And it makes you feel kind of scared that something is after you or chasing you, but nothing is really coming after you. So it's just kind of, it's eerie, I guess you could say. But there were no jump scares or anything at all. There weren't that many puzzles inside of the game, to be honest. There was one that you encountered that you had to send a telegraph to someone that you were in contact with for a side quest. So you had to use Morse code to decrypt the message that they would send you and vice versa. And there's a code book that you use, and then also a legend that you can use to follow and see what the message that they're sending is. It took me a while to understand this one, but honestly, it's not too confusing. It won't take too much time. There was another mechanic that I also really liked in the game, where eventually you can go into Julia's childhood room that was locked up by her mother. There's a puppet, I guess, set in her bedroom, and you can use that puppet set to kind of help Julia remember some repressed memories that she had due to trauma. It seemed that doing these puppet shows for her were the only times that she could truly remember if something actually happened or not. I found this to be really cool. The sound effects that they had for it were cute, but a lot of the puppet scenes were very unsettling. I didn't really encounter a lot of glitches or bugs in the game, to be honest. There was one achievement that was bugged, but I believe that they're aware of the bug and they're currently working on it. Throughout the whole game, there will be stuttering. If you move too quickly, frame rate will drop to maybe about 20 and it'll climb back up. And I also found an issue with memory leak, but was solved with restarting the game. This is something that not only me, but many other players were complaining about in the discussions. But like I said before, the devs are aware of the problem and they are working on it. So the developers for this game, it's a small team of 10 people. So I like to give them the benefit of the doubt. This game was incredible. Some lag is really not going to make me hate the game or want to return the game. All in all, I really think that the story for Martha is Dead was extremely well done. It was beautiful. I got very emotional and cried a lot towards the end of the game. Just seeing how much Julia went through made me very emotional. I felt very connected to Julia and to both Martha. I would say that it's definitely worth the buy as soon as they optimize the game, but even with some lag and some stuttering, I still fully enjoyed the game. I definitely recommend this game, but like I said before, I highly suggest waiting until they release an optimization patch, so definitely keep an eye out on the store page or on the discussions page for this game to see if they release the patch out. Thank you so much for listening and watching my review. Haven't really done one of these in a long time, but I appreciate you watching and thanks for listening along.